Heather Trevartuka, your Slovenian citizen diplomat. Today I want to talk about inclusion in Slovenia. Now, my particular experience, I can't say if that was common all throughout Slovenia or if it was just something I experienced in a particular place. But it did bring about a point of cultural divergence. Something that I would view as perfectly normal as American and something that Slovenians may see as abnormal and attribute it to something other than just a cultural difference. So you've heard me talk about basically a hostel for adults called St. Joseph Pension, St. Sveti Joseph Pension in Celje. And what I love about this place, first of all, is that the way it's built includes everybody, including the community below. So on one side you have the nursing home where my mother-in-law stayed until she died. Then you have the church, and these are all linked together. And then you have the hostel part called the Pension, and Sveti Joseph or St. Joseph has a lot of people coming there for spiritual retreats, some people like us just staying there, and also they have a lot of disabled people there on retreats. In Slovenia they call them invalids. It is not a derogatory term, it's what they are properly referred to as. And then on the other side of all that is a stage area where they hosted their independence celebration last year, and next to that is the house where the nuns live, and they have a garden. There's also a big area where kids can just run around and play. People can walk and talk. There's a basketball court, and if you get bored with all of that, you can just walk down into Celje proper. So what was really interesting is when we stayed in Sveti Joseph, they have this big dining hall, and everyone goes down there just like you would in a regular hotel to eat. The breakfast is included, very nice. You can get lunch and dinner for cheap. But at the time that we were staying there were two different groups of invalids. So these were people that I would guess either had some brain injuries or possibly Down syndrome or something along those lines. People that could function fairly well physically and socially, but did really need quite a lot of guidance. So there was one person that our brother-in-law knew, and she came up to us and said hi and would go around and say hi to other people as well. So the thing is, when you're staying here for several days, you see the same people day in and day out. You see them, you know them, you don't necessarily talk to them, but you do see them. And I think some Slovenians think that this is a little bit odd, that you just go up to someone you don't really know and introduce yourself and say hi. And when this was pointed out to me, I thought, that's really odd that you would attribute that to her disability, when to me it would be rude not to. What she did was perfectly normal. So I thought that was an interesting cultural difference where something is attributed to a disability instead of just they do it in this culture, they don't do it in that culture. What I really love about St. Joseph, though, is that inclusion. You have people who are disabled, you have families like us, you have older tourists, you have the priests, you have the nuns, everyone's there. And that's what I love, and the architecture contributes to that, and even brings the people from Celje below up into that environment. That's what I would like to see more of in the U.S. Instead of having suburban houses, I live in one, yes, but what I would prefer is a community. Yeah, we have a community pool. We have to walk across a very busy street, almost a mile to get to it, so we drive, we don't walk. The community playground is there too, but it's away from a lot of the houses. I would like to see us build things more with community in mind, to bring people together, but to also give them that sense of privacy that they need as well. So those are my reflections. Something that I really loved was the inclusion of everybody. You have the nursing home here, you have the invalids, you have the average Joes, you have the religious people, and the ability to bring all that together. Also remember, travel's important, because what is odd to you is perfectly normal in another culture. Until next time.